Esports is competitive gaming. Imagine playing really any video game you ever enjoyed playing, but playing it competitively to the best of your abilities. The Esports Club, though, we're more than just competitive teams. We host gaming for everybody. We just want people to come out, play games, have fun, and then hopefully host a few good teams that might win a few championships for the school.
We are definitely developing and pushing to build and develop that infrastructure that a lot of other clubs already have. Whatever skill level you are, you can come out, have fun, compete, don't compete. We welcome anyone.
There's not really a spot elsewhere for people to just play video games. Our club is definitely like all-inclusive, so if you're like even just a casual gamer that games, you know, an hour a day or, you know, an hour a week, it doesn't really matter. You can come and play and make friends, so that's really what it's all about.
A club like this is meant to bring games out of the dorm room and meet other people, make friends. We do game nights every other Friday night. You'll get an opportunity to play some games you've never played and meet some people you wouldn't meet otherwise. So if you're interested in gaming, come on out to the club and see what it's about.
Hi folks, and welcome to EGFC Week 10. I am Waffles for Sid and joined by Ocean over here, and we are going to be bringing you the couple remaining games of Overwatch this evening. Ocean, how are you feeling going into our upcoming match of Montana versus Tennessee?
An interesting one, Sid, because Montana, of course, new to EGF Overwatch. They've been competing in EGF for a while now, but now looking into Overwatch. They played their first game last week, you were casting it. Disappointing loss to Hawaii. It's not going to get any easier for them. They are playing up against the 7-2 Tennessee.
Oof, man. And they're one of the powerhouses of the league currently going into the second half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think Tennessee is like top 8 teams, but if Tennessee wants to kind of say they're
technically
top 8
they're
team,
number 8.
They're number 8. I mean, in the standings, yes, but like if we're looking at actual quality, I think I need to see a little bit more from them. I want to see them probably win this game by quite comfortably, and I also want to see a bit of identity from them. I want to see something that's Tennessee of them.
That would be, you know, a good step up in their game too, to really see what those comfort picks are and how they leverage the strengths that they personally can be bringing to the table, right? You're better at some characters than others, and settling into that style will definitely help them, well, hopefully get them better results.
Yeah, right. Dijon first map, control center, so I'm expecting some sort of role composition. It looks like Tennessee are going to opt for that. I don't really want to talk too much about what we're seeing right now because I imagine some of these swaps will change. I don't really see a Pharah being played, for example. Montana, if they're actually running out with this could be pretty interesting. It looks like a double bubble composition with like a Torbjorn that's going to try and zone some players out. Could be pretty cool if they actually go for it. Be interested to see how that works out.
Gates are opening up, and of course Tennessee is going to get into position considerably sooner than Montana. They got speed boost and teleporter to work with. It's going to be a whittle away game for Montana to try and push forward and aggress into Tennessee. Loadman already gone down though, and there's going to be an uphill battle as they try to just kind of manage their losses here on this opening fight. Rotating around a bit, lost another, and with Jimmy Carter down, they're going to have to regroup, Ocean.
Yeah, I think this team fight's pretty much done. It's going to be important for Orion time to get out and keep that charge. Really interesting to see Tennessee, you know, they got up close into the faces, but they also, their composition also not just pros, but has a lot of spam potential. Junkrat, Baptiste, Sigma, a lot of spam potential as well. Montana weren't quite prepared for that. They were still kind of setting up their initial dive. And you also have to question, you know, why did that dive take so long to set up? Because they were going to con out there in that first team fight.
High ground pressure going to be coming up through from this Junkrat. He gets stunned and taken down. That is DPS, 1 DPS off the table for Tennessee as Montana jumps down a bit from the high ground, putting pressure on. Loadman does go down in the end. There is quite the bunker set up with Tennessee on this point. They go and pop the Amp Matrix as well, trying to continue to establish themselves on the point. One goes down, but it's not going to matter.
setup from Montana. Sorry, it was really good for Montana because they got up to the high ground, they got a nice kill. One criticism, we actually saw Jimmy jump off the high ground instead of drop off of it. That meant that it was slower and also you're easier to hit in the air. But also would have liked to see them commit onto that backline. They had a Zarya bubble available. They could have maybe forced a kill onto maybe Noodles or Power there in the Tennessee backline. It seemed a little bit passive after they got that initial kill.
Oh, there it is. A big shatter in the back too. Clipped a few people and, well, Tennessee is there to clean up. Anti-nade rolls through, but it's not going to be enough, and Montana is stuck up here getting, just staggered out a little bit.
Good from Tennessee so far. I wanted to know if they could be a top-tier team in EGF. This is pretty good so far, you know. They know what they want to do instantly, and they do it, right?
It's true.
They perform it swiftly, and it looks clean. It looks proactive.
Good engagement coming through. Oh my gosh. Anything I was about to say doesn't matter. 3 kills through from that tire, and well, it is a laser beam here on the point coming through from Senath, and with overtime triggered, it is just Jimmy Carter trying to do any work here on the point, stay alive as long as he can. First round gonna go over to Tennessee.
Pretty good run from them. Montana, they're one team fight there, but the second team fight of the round where they look good. I feel like they're taking too long to get these fights set up. I mean, usually when you're like in an attack v defense situation, that's okay. You can take as long as you want to set up, but not on control, because in Tennessee, especially when they're playing this aggressive of a composition, this aggressive of a playstyle, you're not going to have the time to do that. Montana got cut out a couple of times, but they're fresh. It's learning experience for them. Tennessee, though, looking good so far. Actually could be one of those top 8 teams, not just standing wise, but actual potential wise as well.
And during that replay, you know, I saw the stun come through, and well, I didn't realize it was the accretion as the nanoed Winston from Montana was jumping into aggress. So really nice response to that attempt on the play from University of Tennessee. Looks like they're all gonna have the same idea here with the TP on the high ground. DeHubs is just trying to play that point and click adventure, as we see the damage just absolutely being outputted here from Tennessee. It's too much between the Bastion and the Sim.
Surprised that they actually won that team fight. The Hubs didn't really actually get that much value on the Bastion because look, 25% to their ult. That's significantly less than most players in the lobby, apart from the Lucio players right now, and of course Montana just switched up their DPS comp. So, I mean, it was kind of a 5v6 brawl, and Tennessee must have just been more direct, must have had better target focus, and that's why they secured the kill so early.
Yeah, I don't know if Montana's going to be ready for Basher to have Shatter. It's going to be online. I mean, there it is, online after that most recent fire strike. He's getting aggressive, looking for it. Who is going to be the victim? No shields in the way now. Killed before he can actually release the Shatter all the way. Doesn't matter. Looks like the rest of Tennessee is going to just free fire from the shields.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for Montana to approach. It's a difficult situation for any team to approach, right? Once you walk into this, I guess, death trap, you've got these symmetric turrets that will slow you down, and then you're slow on rotation, you're easier picked off. It's going to be difficult. I think the best way to deal with it is an aggressive nano boost, and here it is.
Aggressive nano boost. Here comes Overtank going up the main. He's got his own Shatter online. Does go down just before he can release it himself. A little bit of deja vu for the Reinhardts as Tennessee continues to fill the kill feed, Ocean.
I wonder if that nano boost was a bit too early. Like, I feel like half of that nano boost was already done before Overtank was already in the fight, and maybe that was the problem with that engagement. Though that's a promising sign. There was a bit of a plan going into that team fight, and of course Montana new to EGF Overwatch. That's the sort of stuff we're looking for: fight plans and little fundamental improvements from them.
Those little fundamentals can take you quite a long ways in Overwatch too. No one knows DeHubs is behind, and now he is gonna free fire with no pressure, just mowing people down. Jeez, and with the ultimate online too, there is no mercy being shown from this Bastion. Another two gonna fill the kill feed, and well, Montana, they have one to trigger OT, but that's gonna be it. This first map is gonna go over to University of Tennessee.
Yeah, just a little wrecking ball on the point. It's not going to mean much. 200-0 rounds, though. I think everyone expected Tennessee to win this, but not by this big a margin.
Yeah, it was, you know, pretty good show coming through. I love this trickle, though, that we're seeing from Montana. Regardless of everything, these are absolutely skills you need to continue building, and that was a good last little hold right there.
Yeah. No, you know, it's a little bit interesting in these sort of games. Tennessee were able to kind of use all of their ultimates to maximum value, all their players to maximum value, because Montana wasn't really able to shut them down. Which, there's only one thing that I can't really see in this series because of that, and I can't really see how Tennessee utilizes their win conditions, because against a team that's a fresh, everything sort of becomes a win condition, right? Like the photon barrier or just a bastion in an awkward position can be difficult things to deal with for a fresh team. What I will say is Tennessee utilized most of their parts of the composition extremely well. They were extremely focused on who are they gonna get on first, right? For example, we're gonna force a brawl, but who are we gonna shoot first? I don't care who it is. We're gonna kill this target. We're all gonna shoot at this target. Pretty solid from Tennessee. Pretty good opening round from them.
I agree with you there, and you know, it's the amount of focus fire that you're talking about coming through. It shows a very calm. It makes Tennessee look like they're very calm going into these fights. As soon as the Nanode Monkey was approaching, everyone was firing the resources, the CC, to prevent him from actually gaining that space and taking the space for his own team to be able to push forward into. And, you know, looking comfortable and handling that type of aggressiveness coming out of Montana, it's going to help Tennessee a lot in the future as they continue to refine that.
Natural note. I mean, I can't really comment on Tennessee's own win conditions, but how they dealt with Montana's potential win conditions. For example, the Nano Boosted Rhine on Night Market, and also the Winston with the Accretion as well, as you pointed out. They dealt with Montana's win conditions well enough to the point where I can kind of assume when Tennessee is playing a bigger team that they can maybe get a good play with their own win conditions. But maybe we'll see more of that on Hollywood. Hollywood, a little bit more of a complex map than, we're going to Night Market, that's 70p and Brawl, or World Control Center, we like Brawl, or Garden. There's a lot of spam, there's a lot of different angles. You can even get to see Lijiang Garden, which could be more of a diverse map.
It is, and those two Lijiang maps are some pretty aggressive maps. Part of the reason why I do enjoy playing those maps personally, but it does not show a team's full spectrum of abilities and team compositions and capabilities. So I think Hollywood space is hopefully going to give Montana the space they need to, you know, put Tennessee on some breaks here.
I was just gonna note, earlier on the B stream, the other broadcast, I saw some really cool fight setups. And Montana seemed like they were kind of trying to set up some stuff, but they just weren't able to execute it because they were a little bit slow in setups. On Hollywood, that's a map where you're going to be more lenient, and it's kind of a situation where you could, you know, take as long as you want to get a setup done. It's just when you get into the team fight, the execution has to be good, and it has to be to a tempo that you like and that you are controlling. It's going to be interesting for Montana to be able to control a tempo. When I look at their support line here, I actually don't see a main support. I see two flex supports. I know Baptiste in a Baptiste and Yata competition can be that main support, but Baptiste not a support known for controlling the tempo of a game.
Yeah, and you know, I'm curious to see how this is going to unfold, and you know what Montana's going to be able to bring to the table with this more unconventional support line. Cheval hopefully can get some good damage on some off angles, and well, there's already a lot of damage being pumped out from Pavier and or Pavier, my bad. Tennessee still holding on the high ground as the Winston jumps down. No one quite dethroned from the high ground yet, but still Montana gonna regroup.
Yeah, I feel like this is a situation where you're against a double flex support comp that's got a lot of spam, a lot of damage potential. Something like a Mercy where you can either play a really slow pace and try and poke like this high damage composition, or something like a Lucio to get you right in the face of this high damage composition. That can really help you tempo-wise.
Oh man, that shield from Jimmy Carter was shredded so fast. Ate up a lot of bullets on top of it right after. Another push coming through, so aggressive around this high ground. It is a scrappy hallway fight, Ocean. There's so much going on. A pin is successful, but there are still 3 members of Montana taken down in the process of this fight. More following.
That was a better approach though, right? They knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to get into the face of Montana. I feel like they should make some switches now to deal with that. I think they're going to keep their supports the way they are right now because they're close to those support ultimates, which is understandable. But I think I would still prefer some other switches, like potentially a Lucio, or even another thing would be potentially a Zarya, right? Zarya, a very oppressive hero to deal with, as well as Diva. I feel like Sega's a little too passive.
There's an immo put down just in time. Nice job from Bowser Hauser as she keeps their team alive. Not gonna be enough there in the tank for all of them to stay alive because so much follow-up damage after that Flux Ocean.
Yeah, good Flux, good proactive Flux. That's something I hadn't seen from Tennessee before. A proactive ultimate. That's good, right? You know, all the teams who are high up in EGF are very proactive teams. Proactive teams typically you would use an ultimate early, or you would engage first to try and force a reaction out of your opponent. And if you're constantly reacting, you're usually on the back foot. You're usually making the second best decisions possible. And that's a really unfortunate kill there to open up this next side. But it gives me a little bit more time to talk about what Tennessee's doing right now. They have a very good one-dimensional approach. We're just going to spam our opponents down, but I would like to see some more off angles.
Boom, a pop to the face right there. It's going to be a lot of members of Montana taking so much damage. And, well, Tennessee only used a couple ultimates during that. Another great engagement coming through.
I think they find the soldier in the back line. Yeah, bye-bye, Chivel. Unfortunate.
Ocean, I liked how you're talking about the proactiveness. And, you know, in some of my other experiences on traditional sports, we say instigate, don't retaliate. And I think that's definitely a good mindset to bring when you are pushing into your opponent. And, well, looks like Tennessee has finally been pushed off this high ground. Oh no, DeHub's Molten Core behind. Yeah, everyone's been stunned from that Earth Shatter. Molten Core is going to burn him up, and, well, more people still pushing through from Montana, trying to keep this fight alive. There's only 40 seconds left.
Yeah, pretty good team fight from Tennessee. They used the ultimates they needed to, nothing really more. The problem is, they don't have anything for this next team fight apart from a Gravitic Flux. So priority number one for Tennessee is building up that Gravitic Flux kind of before the team fight starts, and then using that to try and win this team fight, because otherwise we're in a situation where Loadman's Riptire, if they could stay alive, could be a fight winner for University of Montana.
That's absolutely true. We've all suffered the death of a Riptire many a times, and, well, probably seen it catch our play of the game. Going up high ground, Immo's there! No kills off the Riptire too soon, couldn't quite melt it in time. Flux comes through, but he's hooked out of it in the middle of the air. Massively stopped right there. Still, more kills coming through from Tennessee. Montana trying to do their best to just trickle onto the point, but Moira going down, that's going to leave just their main tank, and, well, Tennessee going to have a first point hold here on Hollywood.
You know the way you watch like YouTube clips and sometimes you'll get like a video, it's like most satisfying clips or whatever, like there's like a bunch of satisfying videos like mixed together. That was the most unsatisfying Overwatch fight I think I've ever watched. Potential big Flux, potential big Riptire, and it's just ruined by Immortality feelings and hooks. I've just been let down, I feel. Not by the players, just my own emotions.
I mean, I was hyping up some of the tire coming through, and, you know, big props over to Tennessee for anticipating that, because it's not fun when 3 of you get wiped out from it. We saw it happen previously already.
Yeah, I feel like though Loadman with that Riptire should have been a little bit, you know, wary of the Immortality field. I think, you know, you could see the Immortality field there. Maybe a little bit more patience with the Riptire and letting it go. That might have been a better idea for Loadman. But hey, hindsight's 2020. Going into this next round, I like what University of Tennessee is playing right now. It also looks like they're taking this series seriously, right? Yeah. You know, you've got Brigida Zen backline, Basher on the Roadhog is going to be looking to cause a bit of chaos. If Lucky Dog, I like the fact that I actually like the fact they're playing Roadhog instead of Diva or Sigma. Which Diva and Sigma traditionally run with Zenyatta to try and get Zenyatta into the fight, but I don't think you need to do that against Montana. Oh, never mind. They're going to Sigma themselves. My bad.
That's what we get for talking about the defensive team, though, when we're in spawn.
Yeah, luckers.
Well, Tennessee's gonna roll up here. Okay, Halt doesn't quite find anything from Overtank, but that shield was gone in an instant. Loadman already knows they need to be firing away. It's gonna be a lot of damage and, well, waiting for Paravir to come back.
I guess while we're kind of got nothing going on, I just have to say that Noodles has got the best skin in the entire game on the Vampire Hunter Brig, you know?
Ooh.
I appreciate it. Appreciate class when I see it. Yeah, doing a little dance as well for the cameras. Knows exactly what they're doing. Also to Hunt, switching over to the Hanzo, that's important because Montana's composition is weak to a lot of spam damage, and that's what Hanzo provides the most.
Yeah, and that is going to be very hard for Loadman. He's vulnerable in that turret form. Still a lot of poke damage coming up, and, well, Montana now forced to take the low ground and engage the tanks, well, pretty much tank to tank line at this point. So far, Tennessee's still pushing around. Basher is going to get sneaky, gonna heal up with the pack, and then see who he's going to grab with this hook. Oh, he's discovered, though. Not going to find the kill he's looking for around the side, but still, Montana might be pinched, and do they know it? Oh, moving back up to high ground, and now the damage is coming through from two angles up main and from this side. There is DeHubs on the Hanzo pumping out the damage, and oh, a flex to top it off. Ocean, this is absolutely brutal. Ult after ult and just damage after damage dealer coming through. One tick gonna be taken for Tennessee here on Hollywood.
One tick, and that's the second map over pretty quickly. But what I want to say though is Tennessee, they kind of look a little slippery there in that attacking range. You know, they saw the Bastion strategy and they didn't seem to come up with an idea immediately. They knew they wanted spam, but they didn't know how to get the spam involved. I think switching off the Roadhog and going for a wrecking pole and trying to cause a little bit of chaos and then trying to get your spam involved is an idea, but I didn't think they had a nice way to do that. I mean, I guess counterpoint that when Basher got that flank in, that's what opened up everything up for them, because of course Montana had to designate resources to dealing with Basher, and I guess that kind of worked out for them in that way, but I don't think I would have preferred a wrecking ball pick.
Yeah, it was a sticky situation all around, and you know, Basher did go and make that attempt to hook, and then he backed off and came back and was successful in his second attempt. And so I also think that Montana needs to remember to punish those things, especially when someone like a Roadhog is alone. Yeah, he's going to take a lot of resources to take down, and you need to make sure that he's also not going to, you know, come up and hook your squishy people. He is a huge threat in that capacity, and you know, yeah, you got to make sure you're watching when they sneak up once. Yeah, probably should shut him down after that. But like you said, Tennessee wasn't quite as clean as the first map either. So curious to see what we're gonna see moving into our next map of let's see, Volskaya.
Ooh, I like Volskaya. Sorry, I got very excited about that. I really like Volskaya Industries. It's gonna be interesting from both teams' perspectives, because I haven't seen any dive compositions from Tennessee, and I haven't really seen too much from Montana to suggest that they're gonna play some dive compositions. I know they attempted double bubble on Control Center, but Control Center is extremely different to Volskaya Industries. So I'm not sure we're going to see that. And one thing I do want to point out from Montana, I thought that map was better from them. You know, they kind of had an idea of what they wanted to do. When they saw Tennessee's spam composition, they wanted to get up the stairs and get in their face. It was a question of how to do it, though, and I didn't really see them executing it properly or making the changes to do that properly, but at least they had an idea of what they wanted to do. Even on their defense, they wanted to kind of emulate what Tennessee did, so they created a spam composition of their own.
And I agree with you there, and especially on that defensive round for Montana, they were handling some of the aggression coming through from Tennessee and forced Tennessee to make changes, right? Whenever you force your opponent to switch compositions because of something you're doing, that means that you're playing your role in the way it's supposed to be, and they now have to play something that is actually your weakness versus just outplaying you, which is typically what happens to me.
All right. Be interesting here. Tennessee running similar composition on their defense. So this is a very heavily based poke composition. Bastion, Roadhog, Zenyatta, Baptiste, Sigma, all heroes that are really good from range, but a Tracer as well, kind of just to mix things up. I like that. Also, in case Montana plays Tracer, you can kind of take a Tracer duel, but this is interesting. This is not what I'm expecting. This is not what Bastion's meant to do.
we're gonna get sneaky here behind the scenes. Jump down and jump into turret mode. Of course, 2 kills coming through on 2 very squishy characters.
Oh.
Another one to clean up as he's trying to escape, and well, that's gonna be, I mean, he just came up and shot him in the back right there. Wow.
I think this thing to always check your corners, right? You know, like kind of look around your surroundings. Also play from the hubs. I mean, I don't think you would get away with that against a higher level team, but cool play. I feel like it's also good to go for those plays against lower level teams because it's a cheap, easy 3 team fight win, right? Where you get some ult charge and you get an advantage in ult economy. And of course, one way that lower level teams do beat higher level teams is ultimate economy and better win conditions, and that play from the hubs completely eliminates that.
It's also good to have some of these odd tricks in your arsenal. You never know when you're going to need to do some kind of unconventional play or actually use something that's unexpected against the other team. And, well, it'll help you stay prepared, not prepared to get hooked, but doesn't quite get any of the damage off because the wall's in the way. Montana moving around to the high ground. They did get the res onto Loadman, and, well, now they're gonna be back to full strength. Gotta watch out for the flux coming through. More damage as the Bastion's already been set up on the ground, and, well, now Tennessee's gonna flood the high ground and just remove everyone from Montana.
Yeah, good team fight. I like the fact that Tennessee didn't panic and get over aggressive when they lost Senaf on the Tracer. It was a nice controlled team fight, and they were able to do that. They were able to have better ultimate economy because of that first team fight around the hubs. Now in this next team fight, what are we really looking for? Probably the hubs again with the Bastion. I want to see what they're going to do with this configuration tank. Not really an ultimate I usually point out, but the hubs has been playing really well this game. But also the support ultimates from Montana. What are they going to do to get Montana into this team fight? And can they potentially win with that nano boost?
Oh man, there's an Immo and a whole hog in the face of Montana here at the choke point. I like that Basher immediately jumped out of the doorway to help and back up Lucky Dog when he was hooked by Jimmy Carter.
Oh no! Can we have a replay on that, please? That was
I hope so.
That was good. That was enjoyable. I enjoyed that. I hope, you know, these are not proper teammates if they don't clip that from Senna. And Senna's not enough. Senna's not enough for Soldier 76. I'm not playing Tracer anymore. I don't think it's my hero.
No, absolutely not after that. And this tank config here coming through from the hubs. A lot of damage, and oh man, Bowser Hauser, she jumped straight in front of it. Is finished off in the end, but it's stressing me out.
Right, no attempt to the offense of Montana, but one quick thing you'll learn about Overwatch is don't jump into a configuration tank. Probably the first thing I would imagine. It is, of course, a light joke, you know. It was difficult for her to get out of there. But this is a chance for her and their teammates to shine, right? They've got a lot of ultimates this team fight. Can they make use of them?
Man, that is a rough opening pick to happen for Montana. And now the whole hog once again straight into the back line. Look at the resources Tennessee is devoting to the aggressiveness of Basher. They throw the ammo. He's got an orb. Good luck taking him down. Oh, the hook on the side. Jeez.
Well, I was just gonna go for the touch. I wonder if she can get it. No.
Oh, no. Dahub shoves that down right away. And, well, with the flux coming through, that's going to end the round with University of Tennessee taking a full hold.
It's good, professional, solid, full hold. You can argue that it wasn't like the most professional standard, you know. But I'm not going to really argue that. I think Tennessee, you know, they're respecting Montana enough to where I'm like, okay, this is a good professional performance from them. Like, they're still running set compositions. I mean, maybe you probably wouldn't run the Bastion, for example, or you maybe wouldn't run the Roadhog, but it's still a solid performance from Tennessee. They're still, you know, making proactive plays. They've ticked enough of the boxes in this game for me to be happy with them. Unfortunately, it doesn't really answer my question of them potentially being a top 8 team. They are in the standings, but, you know, skill-wise, so maybe I'll have to answer that another time.
I like that Tennessee has also been implementing different strategies and still showing us their strong fundamentals. It's nice classiness that, you know, I wish was more standard around the Overwatch scene and esports scene in general. And the competitiveness they're still bringing means that Montana is getting a lot of valuable game time playing against them as opponents, and they're able to learn and grow from games like this.
Oh heck yeah! Like these games, it's so important to learn from them. Like this, like I would rather like play this game and lose a lot and learn and develop as a player. And Montana should take that in stride. The disappointing thing for me is if say we watch Montana in 2 weeks' time and they didn't learn anything from this game. This is a really good learning experience for them, and that's when I would start to get question, or I would not even get upset, but I would start to question.
Oh, no.
Where Montana want to go? Where is their mentality at? And that's just unfortunate for Lucky Dog. But I think Tennessee are going to try and set up on this high ground anyway.
Unlucky Dog there falls in the ground. Tennessee, though, still taking the high ground, undaunted by the loss of their Sigma, moving around the edge here and will set up in this tiny little sliver. No visibility on Montana at this time, but look at this. Tennessee is slowly encircling Montana from all different angles between DeHubs and Senath here on the high ground. They're getting berated from a lot of sides. The boop up from Lucky Dog, dropping everyone in the ground, just displacing them even more afterwards. So much damage just rolled through Ocean.
Yeah, that's done. That was really good. That up from Tennessee. They kind of surround and conquer Montana. Montana with a more linear composition and less game time experience weren't going to be able to deal with that once that teleporter was complete.
Yeah.
I think that's just standardized. I think good professional performance from Tennessee, and I was happy with them today. Montana, you know, I thought they were all right. I thought there was a couple of team fights where, you know, they had an idea of what they wanted to do, which is good. But the question with both of these teams is, can Tennessee do this against a stronger team? And the question for Montana is, can they learn from this game? If they don't learn from this game, I'm gonna be a little bit sad.
And you know, the only other question I think I would tack on to that, on top of what you've said, is what is the consistency that Tennessee is also going to show us, right? Yeah, performing once really well against the high teams is great, and continuing to establish yourself among the bracket is also great, but you need to be able to do the high level performance consistently to actually be one of the top competitors. So I also, you know, adding on to what you said, like a consistency.
Important thing for them today is a nice solid professional 3-0 win that puts them 8-2 record wise. It's probably put them in a really good spot later on the season to get some good rewards. And I mean, also, you know, 3+3 map differential, tops in the standings.
Always.
Job done.
Well, that is the end of our University of Tennessee versus Montana map. Not sure if we're going to have an interview quite yet, folks, so we'll get back to you on that. But in the meantime, we're going to a quick break, so we'll see you soon. Hi, folks, and welcome back to UGC. Oh my gosh, EGFC. Wow, quite a yeah. Sorry, folks. We are here with Noodles, the winner of our previous match from University of Tennessee. Noodles, congratulations on your win. How are you feeling coming off the end of it?
I'm feeling good. I mean, every match is always just a blast to play, but it's even better when you win because everyone's just pumped up and having fun.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling good. You're also looking sharp over there. I guarantee you you're the sharpest dressed interviewee I've ever seen, by the way, so props over there. So you've got a beautiful setup behind you. Is that where you guys practice? What is it like here on your esports team?
It's pretty fun. We don't have many people today, just because some people couldn't show up. But yeah, this is our lab. We usually have almost the whole team here every time we meet and scrim. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What is the social dynamic and culture or air in the room when you guys are all together and practicing?
A lot of yelling, usually. Usually our main tank yelling at us a lot.
All right, so normal comms that we've all experienced. Nice. Ocean, what you got?
I just want to first say, the outfit, class, the break skin, perfect, right?
Oh, you gotta love that.
Gotta love a class. All right. Just want to talk about the Tennessee's, before we talk about the game, let's talk about Tennessee as a whole this season. How do you feel this season's gone for you so far? 8-2 records so far.
I think it's gone really well. I can't comment too much on previous seasons, as this is my first one, but I think we've improved a lot, at least when I showed up, because when I came in I knew we were basically a brawl one trick, and now we run somewhat more comps, which is a big improvement from how we started. Awesome.
So about this series in particular, Montana, a new team into EGF Overwatch, you still kind of treated them with a lot of respect. Is that how you approach? Do you approach every game differently, or do you treat every opponent the same?
We always treat everyone with respect when going in. We don't want to undermine any teams. We want to be very respectful, but we also like to have a lot of fun when there's room for it.
Awesome, good to hear. And question for the future: 8-2 record, looking pretty good. What are the goals for the rest of the season with this Tennessee team?
We just want to keep on improving. We've got some big opponents coming up like UTA, so we're trying to prepare for those. So I think at least a personal goal is to try to do well against those teams that we see as big threats.
So I'm glad to hear. I'm going to pass you on back over to Sid.
Well, Ocean mentioned that you guys really approach this team with a lot of respect, and I gotta say, I admire how classy you guys are through that type of approach and in general. Definitely something other teams should aspire to be and keep that mindset as well. Before we let you go, is there anyone you would like to shout out or give props? Floor's yours, take it away.
Well, I gotta shout out the whole team, and especially the boys in the lab.
Oh?
I just lost my camera feed. No shot.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I'd love to shout out Lucky Dog and Plank, who are in the lab right now. Okay.
A for effort. And of course, folks, it's intention that matters, right? So thank you so much, Noodles, for joining us for the interview. Once again, congratulations on your win, and best of luck moving forward through the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, folks, that's going to be it for our first game here. We are going to have another one coming up. It's going to be University of Colorado going up against UT Arlington. Ocean, you got any thoughts before we take it to a break about the next match?
Oh, I'm just going to set up the narrative. We'll talk about it again when we get in, but just want to note, Colorado unbeaten this season, 8-0, UTA 7-1. That one loss coming to Colorado earlier in the season in a 5-map thriller. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah. See you there, folks.